So, let's go on to the yes-no round now. It's very important for any politician to be able to avoid answering a question, and certainly you must never use the word yes or no in this round. If you use yes or no, we'll hear this noise, and you'll be eliminated from the round. Jeremy, Jack Straw, do you agree with his views on crime?
Jack Straw, let us not forget, invented the idea of a national bedtime for all children. Admittedly, he was overtired and showing off. He did.
When?
It was one of his. A couple of years ago, before we were in government, he was being a bit weird and trippy. And,
was that when he was a student leader?
No, 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 listen.
Would you confront a mugger, Linda? Are you happy to talk about this question?
That depends what you mean by a mugger.
Well, so,
really.
somebody robs you in the street.
Oh, I thought you meant perhaps somebody like, I don't know, Shane Ritchie or something.
No, no. Would you confront a mugger?
I think I may have a go, as I believe the expression is.
Do you think we are living in a walk-on-by society?
I think it's more of a do you know the way to San Jose sort of society.
Are you a fan of Dionne Warwick?
I have a few of her discs.
Really?
I'm a plastic surgeon in my spare time.
Are you? Could you sort me out? Would you attack me if I had a gun?
Only if you wanted me to.
Are you tough on crime?
I think I'm tough on the causes of crime.
Is there a difference?
A subtle one.
A subtle one. Let's just go over to Graeme Garden. I haven't spoken to you for a while, have I?
You haven't.
Genetically modified foods. Have you a view on that?
I do have a view, yeah.
Do you think it's dangerous? Yeah. You slipped that straight past me. Duty-free, John Thomson. Do you buy duty-frees?
Without exception.
Without exception. Do you think it's right it should be abolished within Europe?
Abolished in Europe? I think not, sir.
Do you think it's going to cost thousands of jobs?
Jobs will be created, I would have thought.
Created? How's that?
Less chance of alcoholics becoming...
But is duty-free ever that much cheaper anyway?
I've found on occasion it is.
Do you travel abroad?
Yeah.
I think that was a yeah, wasn't it? No?
Just clear my throat.
Did you say yes?
I was a 60, I'm a 17.
Did you say yes?
I did not.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Kevin Keegan, are you pleased he's been appointed England manager?
I have no interest in football whatsoever.
So, are you no interest, yes, it is a no interest, yes. Oh. Which is well done. So, I declare Linda Smith the winner there. Controversial offside decision there. As we go on to the pager round, in this round I'll be interviewing Graeme and Jeremy on a matter of importance, but their performance is being monitored by party spin doctors who'll be sending advice to them on their pagers. You'll be able to follow what the advice is by looking at the screen. So let's start first of all with you, Graeme. What I want to talk to you about is proportional representation. Now, do you think that this is a method that's going to eventually replace the first-past-the-post system for the Westminster elections?
I think it certainly will replace FPTP, as we call it.
Yes.
And particularly with regard to the STV, the sexually transmitted vote.
Yes.
And I think we'll find that the people will feel that the PR system will...
But there are a lot of complicated... There's quite a lot of different ways... There are a lot of different ways of doing this, aren't there? There's the single transferable vote system. I'm trying to... What I'd like to do...
Sorry.
I mean, is this a serious topic or not to you? I mean, is this something...
It's a very, very serious topic indeed, and...
Well, why
shut up!
Well, Mr. Garden, I'm asking you what sort of system you're advocating and when is it going to be aborted? I'm not sure this is particularly relevant to the issue at hand, because we are using a sort of form of proportional representation in European elections, in the Scottish elections...
Yes, and but it's only a form, it's not the real thing.
Exactly,
it doesn't give people the chance to do... You know, if every single person in the country, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5...
Millions of people.
Yes,
do people understand? Do people understand how it's going to work? I mean, at the moment, just putting an X on a box is one thing.
I think people don't. I think people don't understand how it works yet. I mean, they're behaving like Germans, to be honest.
Well, Germans understand proportional representation. They've had it for years.
They have it, but they don't understand it.
I think they do. They elect all various states within Germany under this system.
That's right, but look who they vote for. You know, I mean...
Well, they vote for Germans, obviously. That's...
Well, that's their big mistake, isn't it? You know, we don't want the people of this country to vote for Germans.
Oh. So, are you only in favour of this system because you think that it's the only way you're ever going to get back into power?
I think the only way I'm going to get back into power is to reveal that I'm a woman.
Thank you very much, Graeme Garden. Certainly worked for Margaret Thatcher. As we go on to Jeremy, now what I'd like to ask you about is the euro. Is Britain going to bite the bullet and join up with the European currency, or are we going to stand on our own with the pound forever?
Well, we will be holding a referendum, and if it goes against us, we're going to have to do some pretty quick thinking, because we've sort of made our minds up already.
Well, you'll just have another referendum, won't you, until eventually you get the vote you want.
These are not the sort of questions.
This is what happened in France.
Real people don't want to know this kind of nonsense.
They do. This is exactly, this is central to your policy.
I mean, oh, God. Look, a quid's a quid, isn't it?
Yes.
A quid's a quid.
But are we still going to have
a franc's a mark? I mean, whatever. You know, I mean, come on.
Well, are we going to...
Tits out for the lads, let's be honest. There's talent.
No, I know, but I think the electors would really like to know whether, if they vote for you, in 5 years' time we're going to be in the euro, or in 5 years' time we're still going to be shilly-shallying around.
Questions people ask me as I travel are things like, votre passport, monsieur, and buongiorno, signor.
But are you embarrassed when you meet other European leaders and they make fun of you because we're still sticking to our own ways? Or are you proud of it? Are you proud of the fact that we've managed to retain, because our economic cycle is very different from the continentals, isn't it?
It's very, very lonely being at the top, Clive. I have to make these decisions. And
well, you put yourself forward for this.
Times when you just want a big lapel to nuzzle into and say, you know.
Well, there's Gordon Brown next door in number 11.
But he's not the same as you, Clive, you know. Oh, you're so
Mr. Hardy, I'd like to get back to the issues. I think we're straying off into other considerations. What does the city say about this? Because international trade is very important. Financial trade to the
Well, I was looking at in the wrong direction at that point.
Yes.
And
well, looking towards America rather than Europe?
No, looking towards you instead of my pager.
Well, I don't know what your pager's got to do. I'm trying to ask you about your economic policy.
That's true in a sense.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, you were in fact.
So you're in favour of the pound being retained?
Broadly.
Well, what about going to the euro?
Good one. Yes. Euro.
Well, which is it? Are you
fascism, democracy, narco-syndicalism?
You're not very good at being a politician, are you?
Good. No.
Is this a resignation you're about to offer from all positions in politics?
Well, before I answer that, Clive, it's very important that I Did you what? Let me just say this. And I think the people will agree with me when I say this.
Yes.
That whether or not we go into the...
Yeah. Yes.
Into the Euro.
Yes. I think you proved certainly that you've got lead in your pencil. As we go on to a straw poll, are you siding with the Reds or siding with the Blues? Press the appropriate button and do it now. Oh, well, there you are. 59 to 41. The Reds are in the lead. Well done, the Reds. Now, the blue team, you look downcast, and not surprisingly, I mean, this is a bit of a body blow, isn't it?
No, we're trying to push through unpopular measures at the moment, and there's always this sort of turn against our government in the middle of a term.
But you're in opposition.
Well, we are now, aren't we? Yeah.
Reds, are you confident?
Well, if I...
Complacent, smug?
If I cared about the opinions of ordinary people, I'd be delighted at this point, clearly. But... No, carry on.
Does this reflect...
Go ahead, Clive. Go ahead. Don't be put off by somebody interrupting you constantly. Go ahead, speak.
Does this reflect the results?
Now you know how it feels, don't you?
I feel that...
See, over here's the end of a sentence.
Yes.
Try and get to there.
Yes.
See if you can just get... Run for it, Clive.
Were you hoping to be back?
What?
Were you hoping
Finish what you started to say. Answer the question.